Adventures in Sheltering at Home. Basic Bike Maintenance. Starring Uncle Rob. Guest star Jack.
Hey guys, today I just wanted to show you some of the things that I do with my mountain bike before I decide to go for a ride. And that's to make sure that everything is safe and I have a really good time. And so anyway, first of all, I wanted to talk about what kind of tools that it's good to have when you check up on your bike. So today we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to make sure that the pedals and the cranks are tight on the bike so that they don't come loose while we're riding. We're going to put some oil on the chain. We're going to go ahead and use a little tire gauge that shows how much air pressure is in your tire. We're going to have a shock pressure gauge that shows how much air is in your shocks. And then we have a rag, of course, because sometimes you get dirty. So the first thing I like to do is come over to the bike and then just make sure that everything works. So I go ahead and spin the pedals and make sure that everything turns properly, and then I come over here and I use the shifter to make sure the bike is shifting like it's supposed to. And then I try out all of the brakes on the bike to make sure the brakes are okay. So you go up and you squeeze the brake levers like this and make sure that everything works properly. And so once all that's done, then you're ready to go ahead and check a few things. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the torque on the cranks. So this is a torque wrench. And so we're going to use that on the cranks to make sure that the cranks are tight and they don't come loose while we're riding. So the next thing we're going to do is check the air pressure in the tires. So this says 18, hope you can see that, it says 18.5 pounds. That's a little bit low for my tires, so I'm going to put some air in the tires. But you should look on your tires and find out what it says on the side of the tire, because that'll tell you kind of how much air pressure you want to put in. Okay, so that's good. So the next thing that we want to do is check out and see if the pressure's right in the shocks on the bike. So that said this says 200 pounds on it. So that's about what I would like to have in my rear shock. So if you have a rear shock, then you would try to figure out what the best inflation is for the shock. And then before you go for a ride, you want to check to see if that's where it is. The next thing to do is to go ahead and make sure that your chain has lots of enough lube on it, maybe not too much because that'll drip all over everything and get you all messy. But you want to make sure that your train's not too dry, because that way you'll be a lot easier to pedal, and also your bike will shift a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot on the chain so I can keep track of where I started, and then I'm just going to go through and put a little drop of lube on each one of the links so that the chain doesn't get too much oil on it and catch a lot of dirt. But if you do it one at a time like this, then your chain will be perfect when comes time to ride. So anyway, thanks for watching, and next time we'll talk a little bit about how you set up your bike to make sure that it fits you properly. So miss you guys, and we'll talk to you again soon.